Unstoppable Foundation. If anyone who didn't get to donate last night decided they wanted to today, we do have sheets in the back. So that is available to you. And of course, online, you can go to unstoppablefoundation.org/donate. And all the donations will go towards the Success Signature Village. And we are going to have a Success Signature Village where we're going to sponsor a whole village. So I'm really super excited about that. And thanks for doing the inaugural Success Signature Village, for being a part of that. So again, sheets are in the back if you want. And those at home, unstoppablefoundation.org/donate. You can also go to our foundation, which is mcleanmasterix.com/Abby, I think, which is my sister's foundation. And most of the money goes to the Unstoppable Foundation. So what we're going to do now is, right? Yeah, we're going to do a little spot coaching. Okay, so you guys get a chance to come up on stage and be coached by yours truly and the Success Signature team. So who would like spot coaching? Yeah? Lisa Marie, come on up.
Okay, awesome. Do I need to write it?
Can we have a scribe for Lisa Marie? Yeah, okay, Julie will be your scribe.
Okay, awesome.
You don't have to come up, you can just get a notepad and write some notes for her. Thank you.
Let me come around here. Go up and trip on this.
Cool.
Hello.
Hi, sweetie. Hello. So what do you need help with?
Everything.
With your business?
With my is getting, well, I just got the new information in about how to generate with fun, how to bring what I'm wanting to do, and like I was telling them about the dream trips. So I'm trying to...
Oh, you're the one that does the dream trips.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me more about that.
Well, what it is you go on a dream trip. It's 5-star, where you take everybody, and they get a really good price with the rooms because you buy it in like a bulk.
Mm-hmm.
And then, but I want to do a twist with it, that you do the spiritual part with me. So then you go on the dolphin trip and do the blocks and the clearings and things like that while you're out experiencing it.
Great.
Instead of just sitting in a classroom writing.
Right.
That bores the crap out of me.
Okay.
So
oh, sorry. Did we just...
This is different.
Oh, okay.
This is very different. I mean, when you're sitting there doing all the spiritual work and stuff, it's like, all right, well, how many blocks do you have here? You know,
oh, I see.
And what's your, you know, that type of thing.
Got
it's
it.
the step.
Okay,
by step.
so let's think about. So there's two things going on. First of all, there's your ideal customer, and there's a demographic within that ideal customer. Okay, so if you've got 5-star, these are people that are quite wealthy. Is that true?
Well,
if it's a 5-star hotel and a 5-star
yeah, but we're getting them at a discounted price, so no, it doesn't have to be.
Okay.
We can get you.
Okay, that's
price.
cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So tell me how much a package is.
So let's say a trip to Maui right now.
Okay.
I can get you to the 5-star room for $285.
$285 a night?
Per person. No, for 5 days.
$285.
Yes.
Who wants to go? Okay, we're going next weekend. What are y'all doing next weekend? 5 days.
5 days. The company's called World Ventures, and they do dream trips, and they have 2,000 trips. And then from there, I want to add the spiritual stuff in.
Perfect. Okay, good. This is really nice. Okay, so the first thing is, from a branding perspective, is what just happened in the room. Did you see that?
Yes, we're all going, aren't we?
Well, how you started it was a point of credibility. Did you guys hear that? She started with a clear point of credibility, and all of us were engaged. But all of us were engaged with, oh, I can't do that. Right? I mean, I was even. You know, I'm not in a place right now where I could do a 5-star adventure. So I was like, oh, 5-star adventure. Oh, I can't do that. So that's the credibility, right? Excuse me as I spit. That's extra, just so you know the spitting.
Oh, thank you. I got baptized.
You like it? You got baptized, yeah. That is so spiritually huge. I can't even tell you. When you get spit on by me, oh my God. I can't even tell you. Sorry. Okay. Okay, as I'm coaching, I'm going to illustrate that was a moment of authenticity.
And we loved it.
Right? Shit happens on stage, right? Use it. Okay, so that was a point of credibility. The point of credibility is a 5-star event. I can get you a 5-star holiday, right? And then she went all the way from 5-star holiday to $285. You're going, what? So there's a gap there,
Right.
that you have to fill in somehow. So the gap is, I don't believe it.
Right.
Right? How could I spend $285 for 5 days? And yeah, go ahead, Mary.
Well, and I'm also looking at.
Can you get a little bit closer so that they can hear him on the?
Yeah, I'm also looking at, because this is what we do is we start looking at it and coming up with what we're planning to do. But I don't know that there's money in it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is there money in it for you at $285?
Yeah, because if you choose to do the World Venture, you're going to buy into the club of World Venture.
And then you get a commission.
And then I get a commission
Okay.
from that on
Okay.
top of
Cool.
doing the spiritual aspect of it too.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
So the spiritual aspect, you could also probably add a per diem, as Mary was saying.
Okay.
That is, yeah.
And also,
The World
oh,
Venture.
okay, guys. Even if she said 5 days for $650,
Right.
Yeah.
right?
I'd go.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can add a piece to that.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm just saying, because I still don't know that I would go, because that doesn't make sense to me.
Yes.
$207
gap.
for 5 days. This is not going to be a good
Well,
experience.
and it doesn't, yeah,
So
exactly.
what it is that it's the World Venture.
Yes, but
so-
I'm telling you,
Right.
I want you to hear what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Well, here's the thing. Like I was saying, there's a messaging gap
Mhm.
between, 5-star experience and $285.
Right.
So you have to find language
Mhm.
that's going to explain it. Okay,
Okay.
so I've got an example that I use with Linda. Linda category did Sigma, what's it? Six Sigma. And do you know what that is?
No.
Anyone in this room know what Six Sigma is? Okay, so this is a couple, right? For those who don't know what Six Sigma is, it's really huge. It's like this huge process you have to go to get certified and qualified as Six Sigma. It's huge. It's enormous credibility. So for those that don't understand it, explain it to them, right? That's what you can do in your copy and in your messaging and in your communication. Explain it to them. So tapping into your ideal customer, right? It's like someone who wants a 5-star experience that can't have it.
Mhm.
That's it, right? You guys getting that? Does that feel true,
Mhm.
right? And they're going to get something that is priced at, what is it? What the 888 hotel?
Motel
This,
8 or
yeah,
something.
Motel 8.
Uh-huh.
So it's priced at Motel 8, but it's 5-star. So there's a big gap there. So you have to explain the gap, and you can explain it. I mean, you've got a message, so you can talk about that. So
Mhm.
that's part of your messaging.
Okay.
Is to say on your sales page, no way. You're probably saying right now,
Right.
there's no way. This is a double, like be real direct.
Right.
This is a Motel 8 experience. You're giving me a whole load of hooey.
Right.
And it's like, it's not. Here's why. And you can also add probably $100 on top of that for you
Mhm.
to do the spiritual piece.
Right.
Okay?
Okay.
So then on top of that, it's like it really is $285 or it's $385. It really is. And I'm throwing in a spiritual piece, and I actually get paid for it. So tell them, I'm going to get commission when you
Right.
join the club.
Right.
Tell them that,
Right.
right? And tell them that you're going to also then throw in this piece that you can't get anywhere else. So not only are you going to get a 5-star experience, but you're also going to have an incredible opening. Now, the thing with the spiritual stuff is you don't want to say it's spiritual.
Right. Okay.
Okay, so you want to talk about one of the challenges that a lot of spiritual people do is that we use jargon that's a language of separation.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to talk about, this is module, what is it, 5, I think? Who are you going to be? Who is your audience going to be when they're done the trip?
Okay.
What's in it for them? What are the benefits? And talk about it from that perspective,
Okay.
right? So the success signature model is you're going to make money, right? That's the clear benefit. People who are running success signature businesses are going to make money, but they're going to do it in a field of ease and grace, right? That's our differentiator. It's not just making money, lots of it, but making it in ease and grace, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what would your differentiator be for the spiritual piece, right? It's like whale and dolphins. Let's just talk about that piece.
Okay.
So what's going to happen? Who are they going to be when they're done? You've already taken people on whale and dolphin trips, right?
I've taken one.
Okay. So what happened to the people at the end of it? What was their experience? How did they change?
Bliss. They walked away with knowing that they are the dolphin and the dolphin were them.
And,
So-
but, okay, so they are the dolphin and the dolphin is them. What did that give them?
Gosh, I have to, yeah.
It's okay, but these are the questions you want to ask, okay?
Right,
You want to
right.
dig deeper into that conversation. So it's not just they're the dolphin is them, which you can include in your copy.
Right.
But what does that mean to the
Okay.
people? Because when you capture that, what
Mhm.
that means, anyone have some ideas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say.
Oneness, unity.
Into a greater field of oneness.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
and that's part of. what-
Right, and what does a greater field of oneness mean? I mean, again,
Yes,
that's kind of
exactly.
spiritual jargon, right?
Exactly.
Which we really have to kind of stay away from. What does,
Part of what she was talking about,
Yep.
that I'm not hearing her saying now, is the playfulness.
Oh, thank you.
oh, there you go.
Yes.
There you go.
The
And
playfulness,
what,
they were learning how to play
there
again.
you go, because dolphins are incredibly playful.
Right.
So again, what does playfulness do? What is the result of being playful? We all just talked about it. We just, right? What is it? What's the result of being playful? Happiness, joy, ease, lightness, maybe opening the field of abundance. I mean, do you see? Getting to some real tangible benefits. Tangible benefits. Yes?
And what I like to think of, especially that it applies here, especially in the work Paul and I do, is like, what's your life gonna look like afterwards on a very human level, without all the spiritual
Yes,
BS, excuse me.
exactly.
Right.
Without the
how's your life
spiritual
gonna be
BS, how is my life going to be different? Right? What's in it for me? How am I going to be different? Yeah, Jess.
You're giving them an experience.
Hey, Jess, can you sit up here?
Sure.
Thanks, honey. I want to just introduce everyone to Jessica Crusin. Jessica is our graphic designer. Well, she's actually our creative director. She's an amazing brand strategist, and she's also one of our coaches on Success Signature Labs for brands. So welcome, Jessica.
Thank you. I was thinking you're giving them an experiential knowing that they can always call back upon
Lovely.
to remember their playfulness, remember their
There you go.
certainty, remember all the elements that we've just talked about.
This is
They
good.
have, it's in their body, it's in their memory. They
Right, this is
experience
good.
it.
So you can use language on your copy now that says, an experiential kinesthetic stake in the ground moment that you'll reflect back on over and over.
Wow.
Oh,
My. Yeah. Thank you. Write it down. Well, we got the film.
See what you're missing by not being here, people at home? Okay?
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is a great, do you see how spot coaching helps all of us? Because this is a really good illustration of how easy it is to not get to the point of the absolute benefit of what it is. So, but you have to start broad. I mean, you have to start broad. You have to start with dolphins. So I'm looking at my customers, what do they experience? And if you don't have customers yet, look at them in your success signature in your sacred chamber. What did they experience? What happened to them? And then start getting testimonials. And in the testimonials, because people will share the benefits in their testimonials, and you can grab it and go even more succinct into the benefits. You can go even deeper into the benefits. You're going to find your play again. And then so if that's one of the main benefits, like find 4 or 5 benefits, right? List them out and build a story around each of those benefits. Okay? So the first benefit is play. It's like, so here's the little copy that you might do around that. The copy is something like, have you noticed that life has lost its shimmer? Have you noticed that work has become a drudgery and your your mission has become a burden? Have you lost your play? Right? So now you're appealing to your ideal customer. Remember the what if statements in copywriting?
Mhm.
Or is this you, I should say. Remember the is this you statements? That's that. So now they're saying, oh yeah. It's like, well, solution.
Right.
Here's the solution, right? And it's a 5-star resort. And it's $285 freaking. And here's why. Okay, you probably don't believe this. We're creating the sales page here. Can you see this?
Right.
Okay, you're probably not going to believe this. I mean, at this point, you're probably saying, what the hell? That's Motel 8 prices.
Right.
That's not 5-star prices. But here's why we can give this to you. And on top of that, and then you go back into the story of play and all the benefits. Are you seeing it?
Love that.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
I just have one
Yes,
more
please,
thing,
please.
because
Oh, okay.
I do money stuff, so
Yeah.
I'm always looking at all the connections, they gotta connect for me. So do they have to pay to join?
Yes, it's a one-time
How much
membership
is the
fee.
payment?
It's $365.
Okay, and then the trip is $285.
Well, the $365 can go into the dream trip.
Oh,
So
okay.
every dollar that goes into like a bank, piggy bank like that. So
Okay.
dollar for dollar. So
Can-
you're not like
All
you
right,
buy
you're
in.
the Success Ninja program, right? Can you go onto our Facebook page and give us the link? Because I
Yeah.
want to join.
Sure.
So it's not 265, it's three.
It's
whatever.
$365 to join.
Yes,
and
but
then
you need to say that it's
365,
365. You don't
okay.
say two whatever. So you have to make sure the numbers all line up.
Okay.
So that if you're stating a price,
Mhm.
that they put money down, that it matches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so could you
Gotcha.
tell that it didn't sit with our systems when we're just like, okay, there's something here?
And what Mary's pointing out is the abundance piece, which is she has a singular gift with. But we can also, all of us can tap into it, and it has something to do with what we talked about, which is the value exchange, right? So Mary immediately tapped into it. When Mary asked us, we're like, oh, yeah, there was something there. So you want to be completely upfront. Absolutely. If it's $365, you explain it all. It's $365, and here's how it works. $100 of it will go to the club. $285 will go for you to your trip. If it's $465, and $100 is going to go into the play, into the spiritual experience of play.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay.
So you let you out.
That feels
Right?
better.
That way
Yeah.
I can sit with
Yeah,
it.
Right.
that feels better.
So it's like super authentic, really transparent. We don't have to hide anything from our customers. If you completely tell them the story, and hang on one second, Paul, I'll get to you. So there's this thing that we talk about in volume 2, which is a good ask. Okay, so a good ask is here's what I need, here's what it'll provide, and shoot, I just forgot it. Here's what it'll provide. Here's what it looks like, and is there anything that you need in order to give this to me? That's a good ask. So you want to do a good ask in all of your sales copy, in all of your sales funnels, right? So you want to make sure that you're telling them, it's a little bit reverse though. You want to say, here's what we'll provide for you, right? That's the benefit statement. And then you say, the call to action, is there anything that you need? Like, so what are you waiting for? Right? That's the call to action. That's kind of I'm kind of playing with this in the moment, so I don't know if it's completely working. But here's what you need. Here's what it will provide for you, right? Here's what you're going to get. Here's what it looks like. And call to action. That works so freaking well. Shoot, man. That's really good. Okay, can we capture that? I want to do that as a module on the membership labs.
So in the course of her explaining all of this, the focus is on the trip, but in addition to the pricing, we want to pay more for her expertise. So somewhere in there we need to hear how she's so fabulous at
Yes.
helping us get to that place of play.
Yeah.
So we need to hear your expertise in there
Okay.
as well, because if we're paying, and $100 I don't think is enough to pay extra for your time.
Right.
I mean, like, it should be like $100 a day, or how many times are you gonna meet with us, that you're gonna get 5 personal sessions, or 6 group sessions, or whatever it might be, and then
Okay.
and your expertise and the dollar amount that I'm happy to pay beyond that, because because if it's just a dream trip, I could
Right.
go on without paying you any money. So I want to know why I
Sure.
want to hook up with you.
Yeah, so
Okay.
and that gets back, thank you so much, and that gets back to the points of credibility, right? The points of credibility is what will engage people to say, oh my God, I've got to do this.
With
So,
her.
yeah, with her.
Right,
So,
with me, exactly.
this is something Marita, who's I think watching, she asked me a question on the Facebook page. The Facebook page is for those people who are in the Success Signature program. And she did the exact same thing. She had this great sales page, but that was missing. Like, who is this person who's charging me? So that piece of it is enormous. Thank you for bringing it up. I kind of think of it as a given. But yes, it's not obvious to all of you yet that we have to actually establish her as someone who's exceptionally credible at guiding a tour. So the points of credibility of what is your experience, what are your
I've only had the one, so
it's okay. It's okay. You get to. Are you certified in any disciplines of healing?
a lot of things.
Exactly. How many? About 15, 20?
About 15,
Yeah,
20.
right.
Yeah.
So no credibility. No credibility there, right? You can see that? Right? So all those disciplines, right?
Yes, rolled into.
Yeah, so name
Experience.
them all.
Oh, okay.
Name them all.
Okay.
And I learned this, which is helping me support you in this way.
Okay.
Then I learned this, and it's helping me support you in this trip in this way. Then I'm also certified in this, which will help me support you in this trip in this way. Then I'm
Okay.
also certified in, and do all 15.
Okay.
Because 15, they're going to stop reading after about 3
Right.
because they're like, well, wow,
Right.
right? And I'm getting chills. Every single one of them tells them how you're certified to help them. So that's the piece
Right.
that some people
was
miss in their
missing.
bio,
Okay.
which is when you're offering the piece about you on the page, the credibility has to be what's it mean to them? How will it serve them? How will it support them? Who will they be after their interaction with you? That's how the copy and communication has to go. So it's not just a bio, and it's not just credibility. It's a conversation that makes them feel fantastic that they're going to hire you. So every bit of the bio is about them. Now this is another thing that people go on with bios. They write a bio about them. You're not writing a bio about you. You're writing about a bio about your interaction with your customers. That's really good too. Write that down. Right? You're writing a bio about your interaction with your customers. So the bio has to have benefit statements in it. The bio isn't just a bio. It's bio that allows people to feel the benefit statements.
Okay.
So, and thank you, Holly. That was great. And
Because
Paul.
that's really important. Thank
Yeah,
you.
just to add the combination about the credibility, but also what Mary was saying about the money to add to that credibility. As soon as you're upfront and clear, like the way you said it, Jen, with this much for this, this much for this, this much for this, then that takes the person to worry, because sometimes they miss all the other words because they're too busy worrying about the disbalance in
Yeah.
the financial side of things.
Right.
So they miss the rest of the words. As soon as you go this for this, this for this, this for this, then you own it yourself, you believe in it, and it has that different energetic, and then
Right.
the person's at peace because they can see how
Absolutely.
that
So what happens is the system goes, oh. And remember we talked about pressure?
Mhm.
The pressure is relieved. Pressure is relieved. Mary.
So, how many of you have gone to a page where that happens, and because you go, and you move on? You really want to make sure everything's there, so they go, oh, yeah, okay.
So,
Because if we get that,
but
we move on.
so and how you can
We don't
address
come back and go,
how
I
can
need
it-
to find out.
Yeah, and how you can address that before they move on is by calling it out with a headline. Okay? So call out their objections with a headline on the sales page or on your brochures. So you're probably thinking now, what's the catch? We do that all the time because we do 93% of everything we do is free. It's like people do that, like, I don't trust this, it's free.
You should put that on your page.
Which one?
What's the catch?
I do that all the time.
On,
We can talk about it later.
okay.
So, but yeah, like call it out. Call out the objections as headlines, right? So think of all the objections. So one of the sensibilities that we use at McLean Masterworks, and you're going to learn about sensibilities in Volume 2, is think like a customer. Put yourself, I've never written a sales page, and I kind of do it instinctually because I wrote so many press releases. So I used to put myself in the shoes of an editor reading a press release, and you know, the boy, it changes things immediately, because writers often write with a little bit of ego. You know, the ego is gone when you're writing in the shoes of your customers. When you're writing a marketing message, or you're writing a press release, or you're doing anything, the ego is gone because you're in their eyes are reading your copy, and when you do that, you see the objections. You see the objections, and so use headlines with the objection right in the headline. Like, you're probably thinking this is a Motel. I know you're probably thinking at this stage that's a Motel 8 price, and you're right, but it's not a Motel 8 experience, and here's why. Right? So they're going to feel the disparity in their field, and you're going to address it immediately with a headline. So that disparity is immediately addressed. So thinking like a customer and thinking about all the objections. So, you know, one of the things that I recommend is doing a sheet of objections. Why would they not buy your offer? It's something I haven't done in a while, so this is something I need to do again. Why would they not buy your offer? What's wrong with it, right? And then take those objections and incorporate it into the copy, into the sales copy, the brochure, the website, the sales page, the opt-in page. And objections as headlines is a really good idea too.
Cool.
Mary, you good? Okay, thanks, honey. I can see her getting wrangled up. No, there's a disparity in energy. May the 4th not be with you.
Right.
Thank you, honey.
Thank you.
I'm gonna write these up and send those to you, these new notes, send them to you, Lisa.
Okay.
And should I be sending them to everybody, the notes that I'm taking from this?
Do you guys want the notes?
Sure.
Yeah, that'd be great, Julie. Thank you, honey. Do we have time for another one?
It's 12.
Yeah, let's, anyone else? Yeah, go ahead, come on up.
I'm
Hi.
Tracy.
Hi, Tracy, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. It's a little bit weird being up here, but it's exciting. So I have a yoga studio. I teach Bikram yoga.
Okay.
And I opened up a yoga studio about 6 months ago.
Where is it?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Really?
Twinsburg, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where?
Twinsburg, Ohio.
Twinsburg.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a suburb of Cleveland.
I used to live in Avon Lake.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. East side, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And right now I'm working with how to make it sustainable.
Right.
You know, the abundance part is what's missing, I think. And I feel like I've been putting internal pressure on myself, which puts pressure on my students.
Right, right.
So that's where I'm at.
Okay. So Bikram yoga
Mm-hmm.
is an interesting form of yoga.
Mm-hmm.
It's starting, if you were to look at yoga as a
Mhm.
trend,
Mhm.
it's right around here, yoga in general.
Okay.
Right? So 10, 15, 20 years ago, no one really knew what yoga was, and if you did yoga, you know, maybe 25 years ago, if you did yoga 25, 30 years ago, you were like, okay, she's in a cult. And so yoga,
Pretty much, yeah.
yeah, right? So yoga has now gone into this stage here, where it is a fitness thing, right? And so we've got celebs that do yoga. So this is the trend.
Mhm.
Now Bikram yoga is
Mhm.
right about here. Okay?
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So and when we're in it, we don't know it.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know it. So one of the things I'd recommend is just do a quick Google search on Bikram yoga.
Mhm.
Find out what people are saying about it.
Mhm.
Okay. Bikram himself is a crazy character,
Mm-hmm.
right? So he's a wild man. And so there's an interesting story with Bikram the man
Mm-hmm.
that might be an interesting blog
Mm-hmm.
to do what Bikram might say about what's happening in the world.
Okay.
I don't know. He might have fun with that too. But anyway, but just talking about Bikram the man might be interesting as
Okay.
some fodder for blog posts.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the opportunity is that the hot yoga studios, right? These are your competitors. Is there one in your region?
There's a lot of red tape with franchising and stuff,
Right.
and I've chosen not to.
Yeah, it's okay.
I've chosen to be me.
Okay.
There is one in the area. There's a couple in the area, but we're spaced far enough apart.
Yeah,
Where we're
it's-
not competing
which is
each
okay.
other. We're helping each
Yes,
other.
yes, there's co-opetition that could happen here.
Okay.
So hot yoga has decided to leave Bikram and do the trend of fitness yoga, right, with hot studios.
Okay.
So you have an advantage in that you can say, we're the original, without competing, but using co-opetition, okay?
Okay.
So something you could do, I don't know if they would be interested, but you could create some kind of a workshop regionally with all the hot yoga studios and all the Bikram yoga studios,
Okay.
and do a one-day workshop where you do demonstrations, you talk about the history of it, and maybe you get Bikram there. Maybe you get the founders of hot yoga there. Maybe you get the high-end Bikram instructors to come and join. And you can do a regional event with all of your competitors.
Okay.
But you will be the leader. Your logo will be the biggest because you're the organizer.
Okay.
Okay? So these are tactics,
Okay.
okay, that I'm talking about. But the strategy is to understand where you sit in the marketplace
Okay.
with Bikram.
Okay.
So Bikram's has an advantage of being first, but has a disadvantage of being a wacky Indian thing.
Right.
Okay, especially in Cleveland, Ohio.
Right. Right, and that's where I'm like it's more about educating, somebody that is about to have, well, for you, like say you had you had your surgery.
Yeah.
I've heard you say it's been a long recovery. Had you been doing yoga beforehand,
Yeah.
your surgery might have been quicker, or
Yeah.
even after surgery, recovery time would be better.
Yes.
Anybody with a back problem, come in. All it takes is one class, and you can feel
Yeah.
the difference.
And you're competing against yoga with that same message. Okay.
competing against yoga.
Yeah, yoga is your competitor
Okay.
because
I don't get it.
because Bikram is distinctly different.
Okay.
It's 105 degrees.
Right.
Right? So there's a reason why it's 105 degrees. Okay. So the conversation is exactly what you're saying. Exactly what you're saying. And so, but there's a additional differentiator.
Okay.
Right? I know that I should be doing yoga.
Okay.
Right? I really want to do Bikram yoga.
Okay.
I mean, I really do. I personally want to do Bikram yoga. I've been thinking about it for months. I really, really want to do it. Okay. And part of the reason I want to do it is because I heard two people talk about it. And before, I just thought it was gross.
Yeah.
Right? I'd go into
Yeah.
a studio, there's a bunch of people sweating.
Yeah.
Right? But,
Yeah.
but what's, first of all, you likely have a brand new studio and you've likely taken that in consideration.
Yes.
So talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, objections, right? What are, my objections are, it was freaking gross.
Right.
People have been
Yeah, those
sweating.
old studios are
right?
stinky.
They're so gross, and they don't have the cleanliness. Like they don't have the you can wash out the whole studio. I'm assuming
Yeah.
something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So talk about the objections. One objection is it's stinky and it can be gross. So address it. It's like you might be thinking that a bunch of bodies sweating in a studio might be a little different. Here's what's different about us.
Okay.
And why is 105 degrees so important? You don't have to tell me that right now, but that's a huge differentiator from yoga. Okay, and it is remarkably different, right? Because the capacity to go deeper into everything is expanded exponentially at 105 degrees, right? You can talk about jacuzzis are set at 105 for a reason, right? So these are the kind of things. So making people comfortable with the notion, why would I go to 105 degrees? I live in Tucson, I can go outside.
Right.
Right. So, right?
Sure.
So why do you take a jacuzzi? Most hot baths are about 104, 105 degrees. Why do you do that? Well, you see, start thinking about an analogy. So here's another piece about content. When you're getting a new concept across, especially in a trend, Analogy and metaphor is fantastic. Storytelling is fantastic. Okay, so telling a story about someone's experience. Now, I don't know if you know this, but I can't remember his name. Motown guy, Peggy Lipton's husband, the woman.
Quincy Jones?
Quincy Jones. He was in a wheelchair. And he started doing Bikram yoga, and he got out of a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
So look up his story and see if you can validate it, and use that.
Okay.
Use that story. If it's already written, you can use it. Okay, because they love you to share those stories. If a magazine has published it somewhere,
Okay.
they love you linking back to it.
Okay.
The regional event feels like it could be really a big thing.
Okay.
Is that something you think you could do?
It's possible.
Okay.
It's possible. I feel like I'm a little bit different in the fact that I'm totally open to cooperating with other people and collaborating. And in the area, it feels like there's more of a competition vibe.
Of course. Yeah,
So it's so different.
everyone
it's
is in
so new.
Yeah, you're in Success Signature.
Right.
They're not.
Right.
Right? Okay.
Right.
So they're still in the old paradigm of competition.
Okay.
So in order to have a conversation with someone in an old paradigm of competition, you have to talk about what's in it for them.
Okay.
Okay? So you have to approach them as saying, hey, I know that we're competitors.
Mm-hmm.
I get it. And I know that we have a really cool thing that we're all doing.
Okay.
And here's what's in it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So
As in, like, the studio, the person, that studio person?
yes.
Okay,
You
gotcha.
you got to be really, really clear.
Gotcha.
So once again, every conversation you have with any competitor, cooperator, or with an affiliate partner or anything, it's exactly the same thing as a customer, and we miss this a lot. What's in it for them? That's the first thing you have to talk about. So in order to have your conversation,
Yeah.
you have to have 5 things. Find 5 things that will benefit them
Okay.
by participating in this event.
Okay.
Okay? 5 things. And another thing that you can do that would help them is to say, I'm generating some local PR. Just call the local lifestyle editor in the Cleveland paper and the daily. You can actually place with the weeklies. Sorry, for the weeklies, they'll let you place an article. You can write an article and they'll let you place it for free.
Okay.
So tell them that you're going to get some PR. You're going to get some press showing up. You're going to get, like, especially if you could get Bikram, or if you could get Bikram. If you say you're doing an event, Bikram might do it. He's so funky. He might just show up, right? So if you got Bikram there, you get, and then you tell Cleveland that Bikram's coming. You're getting a whole bunch of people there, right? And it benefits everyone. The hot yoga people might have a bit of a problem, so you tell them to invite. Well, Bikram's coming, and tell them to invite their people. There's how you can use competition, right? Oh my God, Bikram's coming. We better be there.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So use competition, and I think, okay, so let's talk about your ideal customer in Cleveland, Ohio for Bikram yoga. Okay? That's big. You're a brave woman.
I know.
You're a brave woman. Okay, so let's tap into them. Let's everyone do it with I can't remember your name. I'm so sorry.
Tracy.
Tracy. Let's everyone do it with Tracy. Let's tap into Cleveland. Okay, Midwest ideals, okay? And let's tap into Tracy's ideal customer in Cleveland for Bikram yoga, okay? Like, they're really cool, aren't they? They're amazing people. They're just like Tracy. They're willing to try new things in an environment where that's not necessarily accepted. Does that feel true? Does that feel true? Okay. So they're in an environment and family and friends who aren't really they're hanging on for dear life to the old ways, to the ways of the Piscean age, of the patriarchal model. And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing that they get to do that. There's absolutely no judgment at all about it. That's just what's going on. They're just holding on. So as we tap into her ideal customer in that environment, oh man. So I'm starting to feel a different way to communicate with them. Beyond just what we talked about from a marketing perspective. Can you feel the difference that happens? We just had a marketing conversation, and now we're having an authentic Success Signature ideal customer conversation. You feel the difference, right? So now we've got all this, and I actually think I really recommend you do both. Okay, you have the marketing, research, you do this, you do the more traditional stuff, and then, or first, whatever works for you, then you have your ideal customer success signature conversation. And that's gonna take what you've done in your research and just go, oh, okay, so there's that piece. But then this group in Cleveland, Ohio, doing Bikram yoga, these are people that need support in their beliefs. They are radicals. Yes, Mary?
Well, as we were kind of tapping in, I don't know, the area as much, but I always assume people that would be doing yoga would want to do it for health.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that they want to do it for health.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that right?
Yeah, they want to take a pill for health.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Mhm.
I
And
think
especially in
you
Ohio.
Yeah.
position it different. What I got was, this is a new way to feel good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not getting healthy. I mean, I don't think that that's the thing that's going to draw them in.
Yeah.
Which I think yoga would normally be.
Yeah,
but-
there's
so-
interesting, as you say that, Mary, it feels like there's actually two things going on here. There's two kinds of customers here. One is the customer that actually needs to be supported because it's hard to be a free spirit that is pursuing a transformational path in Ohio.
Okay.
Okay, there's
Okay,
that guy.
that
That's
is true.
that's
That-
one
that's
audience.
good. That's good.
And there's another audience that is on the cusp of allowing that kind of new way of being and thinking in that really wants to be healthy. Now, the
well,
person
I think it's more they want to feel good.
they want to feel
they
good.
want to feel good, but
They
They
wanna
want to
feel
feel good. I don't
Yeah.
think they're going for health.
Yeah, they're
That's
not
what I kept-
necessarily changing their diets. They're not.
Yes,
They
I-
just
I-
want to know
Good.
they
Good.
want to
Yes,
feel
so
something
that's
different.
really, really
Good.
important,
Yep,
right?
yep, yep. They want to feel good.
They want to feel good.
These are not health nuts.
Yes, yes,
Right.
and I
These
think
are not
that's
people
super
that
important.
actually shop at Whole Foods. This is
Correct.
really interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can see how regionally the ideal customer for yoga is completely different, especially for Bikram yoga, in Ohio than it is in California. Completely
Right.
different strategy,
Right.
right? So this is good. I want to feel good, and the Bikram yoga folks that want to actually try something different.
Mhm.
So there's a way to, you can see here that we've kind of got two ideal customers, which can happen, right? You can see how this is happening here. And there's likely an overlap between those two personalities that they don't even know about. The people that want to feel good and are willing to do yoga are likely the people that also want to be supported in a spiritual path, okay? So as we tap into these people that want to feel good in Ohio, right, among Lay's and Hershey and, right, that they're not necessarily going to change, right, they're not necessarily going to change that. And again, I have no judgment. I love Lay's potato chips. But they're not necessarily going to change their habits.
Mhm.
So it's really an interesting, really different audience. It's a really different audience. So as you tap into these ideal customers and you get that they want to feel good, how might you communicate that with them?
Well, one aspect I've gotten is, you can still do your daily life, but you feel better when you're doing it. Like right now, gardening's big, like being outside in the yard because it's springtime.
It's lovely.
But a lot of people are having back troubles now, or
Right.
they're
Right.
sore because they've been shoveling,
Right.
5 tons of stone.
And how are you reaching them?
Um,
How are you driving traffic?
Right now, I don't have a lot of traffic. It's word of mouth. I do a little bit, like a small newspaper ad, but mostly word of mouth. And so when somebody comes into the studio, I have an introductory special. And right now, I've started giving out like a couple of free class passes for them to give to their friends or whomever they
Okay.
want.
The Chamber of Commerce,
Mhm.
they often do free talking things, like 90-minute
Mhm.
talking things or half-day things.
Okay.
Churches.
I've been thinking about doing something at the library or something like that.
Great. Churches, especially Unity churches. It's a
Mhm.
really good way to.
Okay.
There's Unity churches in.
They're not quite close to where I am,
Not so-
but yeah,
okay,
there
okay.
are some.
Okay, and they don't have religious science or spiritual centers.
Not really. It's mostly like
Yeah.
Catholic.
Yeah.
All the way.
So go to Catholic. Go to the
Okay.
Catholic churches and have the Catholic message.
Okay.
Feel good while you're gardening. is a great
Okay.
Catholic message,
Mhm.
right? Because they're the other ideal customer. I
Right.
want to feel good.
Right.
But then there are those spiritual people who are looking for support. I actually think there's almost a little support group
Mhm.
that you could create for those ideal customers.
Okay.
Okay, so it feels like you could also partner with local businesses
Mhm.
and give them some kind of a trade that you do a special with your customers, that if they do yoga and go to lunch there, they'll get a special deal. And then you have their cards at your place and your cards at their place.
Mhm.
So start talking to some local
Okay.
local businesses, local
Mhm.
restaurants. Is there a health food store?
Not.
Yeah, not really.
A little a town away.
A town away.
There's a ton of chiropractic offices.
Oh,
though.
good.
Like
Oh
a
my
slew.
Great. So play with the chiropractors
Okay.
and invite them, maybe do an event
Yeah.
with all of the chiropractors,
Okay.
that you're gonna do a demonstration with them and give them a discount. Now, what's in it for a chiropractor? That you probably don't wanna do all of them. I'm kind of brainstorming here right now, but it feels like you wanna get probably one of the largest ones or
Mhm.
two,
Mhm.
and do a trade with them. Because what's gonna be in it for them, they just want new people.
Mhm.
They want new customers.
You
Yeah,
can do trade advertising, you know, promote them at her yoga place and vice versa.
Yeah.
Or, on the website, you can do a lot of exchanges that way.
yeah, website stuff. So I actually, sorry, one sec, can you hold that thought? I actually had this thought of actually doing a sales page.
Mhm.
And start buying some regional lists and doing a sales page that talks about, I mean, very few real brick and mortar businesses use the online model, and it can be really successful,
Mhm.
where you actually create a sales page, not a web page, a sales page, and the action that you're taking them is to buy a package.
Mhm.
And so you can do a demo, you can use all the language of education, you can actually create 2 sales pages, one for the ideal customer that needs
Mhm.
support, that has slightly different languages, and one for the person who wants to garden.
Okay.
Get your iPhone and take some video of a couple of your customers and say, oh my God, when I garden now, I don't have that crick in my back that I used to
Mhm.
have. And testimonials are great
Mhm.
too, by the way. But yeah, sales page might be fun.
Okay.
And sell the package. Sell
Okay.
that you'll never see this anywhere else. I'm only doing it online on this page.
Okay.
Okay, and then on the card, whenever you do the joint venture with
Mhm.
your restaurants and chiropractors, on the card, the back of the card says, go to this page for a special opportunity, a special discount.
Okay.
Okay, and then drive people to the page that way.
Okay.
Do you have a website?
I do.
Okay, so on your website, you do an opt-in page.
Mhm.
Okay, and then you drive people to the special offer through a funnel.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
and the funnel is all educational. Mary Kay.
So one of the things that we talk about in the ideal customer
Mhm.
module that I'd love to have you play with is after you've tapped into the ideal customer, you're starting to know what they eat for breakfast,
Right.
remember all that. Thinking about doing some customer interviews with the current customers you have, like trying to look at them now. Which of my current customers are in this support group,
Okay.
looking for support
Great.
for my spiritual? Which are the ones that are
Okay.
in? Start to interview them, because what you'll find then is where are the places that they're shopping? Where are the places that they're getting other kinds of services and businesses? And that'll let you know the businesses that you want to partner with for some of the kinds of
Okay.
things that Jen's talking to you
Okay.
about.
That's great.
Little
Okay.
tip.
That's great. That's a great idea. Yes.
Because I was even thinking similar to this, which is way off topic, but it keeps coming up, is there may even be like a hair salon where
Mhm.
people might do things a little bit differently there,
Okay.
especially because it seems like in yoga, a lot of it's women.
Yeah.
Mhm. Oh, yeah,
come to it,
70%,
and
yeah.
so from that
That's
point
great.
of view, it may not just be a chiropractor, but it may be this, like Mary Kay's saying, is this really cool hair salon
Okay.
where people do things a little bit differently, and you can advertise with them and
Yeah.
put
Okay.
flyers
That's
there.
great.
Yeah, I like
Invite
that.
all the hairstylists. They're the
Okay.
ones that are going to talk about it.
Yes.
Right.
Invite all the hairstylists in and give
Okay.
them a free set of classes.
Okay.
Tell them you come 3
That's
times,
exactly
yeah,
right.
and
I
have
like
them
that.
experience your work.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Well, you could even do a local businesses kind of event.
Yes.
To get the different businesses that
Yeah.
are all there, and you could be, and then you're starting to become the recognized
Yeah, that's right. And so whenever anyone has a question of them, it's kind of like, oh, wait, I know someone.
Mhm.
I know someone that I can direct. Yeah, so this is good, this is good. So this brings up another point, which is becoming an influencer,
Okay.
right? So by you creating these little workshops, creating a workshop for the servers
Mhm.
of the restaurants, for the hairstylists of the shops, for the service staff at the chiropractor.
Mhm.
Chiropractor usually doesn't recommend it. It's the person who's at the front desk,
Mhm.
right? And she's also the one that's going to allow posters or not
Mhm.
in the chiropractic office. So invite all of them and the chiropractors and the shop owners, but invite them to some workshops with you.
Okay.
Invite them for a ridiculous discount.
Okay.
Or a full day event, or a half day event, or a series of discounts, or whatever.
Mhm.
And invite them in, and then you start becoming the influencer, as Mary Kay was saying.
Mhm.
And then if you start, once you get it going, you're going to start seeing it.
Okay.
And there's going to be more and more events that you're still going to start creating. So my sense is the events are really what's going to start getting people engaged. And then eventually you can start charging for some of these events, because you're going to start creating annual events.
Mhm.
And people are going to want to come back, and then next year you get to charge a little bit, and next year you get to charge a little bit more.
Mhm.
And then it's called the hot hairdressers event, right? So it's not hot the annual hot hairdressers event, right?
Okay.
Can I tie it
Yeah,
back to what you were
please.
saying before, which is, it feels to me that where we're going now with first engaging the customers, creating some of these
Mhm.
events, that this will then eventually lead to you being able to do something regionally, because this is gonna build your reputation and credibility with the
Mhm.
other studio owners
Okay.
that are your co-opetition, so this will lead you to that point that you can become, they'll then see you and be like, wow, she knows her market and her customers so well, and then you can start to create these more regional events, and
Okay.
then you become even more of an influencer in the,
Yeah, and once you start developing some regional stuff, you can start doing some online events. Okay, so once you start getting a regional list. And it might be interesting, one of the ways that I use to try and get affiliate partners is I interview them. I'll say, hey, would you be on my show?
Okay.
Right? And so a way to maybe get some of these co-opeters on board is by saying, hey, I'm doing a little regional online event, and I'm interviewing all the owners of Hot Yoga and Bikram Yoga. And you might even do a couple of Hatha Yogas in
Mhm.
there. And just do a little regional event where you do a call every night for 30 minutes
Mhm.
or something like that for 5 or 6 days. And you interview them. So now you've got a relationship with them.
Mhm.
And you've positioned yourself as an influencer, as a
Okay.
leader. So the next time you approach them and say, hey, we're going to do a live event, Bikram's going to be there, we'd love for the owners of Hot Yoga to be there as well. Would you be interested? They've already got a relationship with you, you're not
Mhm.
coming out of the blue.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So you can look at bringing in guest instructors into your studio, and also not even just outside of yoga. You could look at bringing in like spiritual type people, having other types of classes in your studio to get people in there.
Mhm.
And then also with the events, if you have like a little goodie bag and you partner with the local businesses that way,
Ah, nice.
and have them
Nice.
put up your message
Okay.
and you advertise your studio at their facility, for putting in something in their goodie bag. That's another good way
that's
to
great.
get
Okay.
That's great. Brilliant.
And then also too, if you give them like a free, it takes 21 days to establish a pattern. So if you give them a free, at least, I don't know what you're comfortable with, but a week, 2 weeks, or a month of going to the studio and trying to develop that pattern, then that's also a good way to build, that can be a good way to build a business, so.
Good, I like that idea. 21 days of habit, creating a 21-day package. That's a great idea. And I love the goodie bag idea. This is great, yeah.
That's good.
That's really cool. It's a really nice idea. Yeah, Mike?
Are your members active on social media, Facebook? Do they like to talk about Bikram Yoga?
Yes.
Do you have a Facebook page?
Yes.
Do you take pictures and tag them on the page?
A little bit, not a lot.
So that's been, at the gym I go to, that's been really effective, is
Mhm.
bringing other friends of
Mhm.
mine in, and, friends of ours, just because they see us in pictures. And what they do is they take a picture, and it doesn't have to be in, nice pictures,
Right.
obviously, and you put a quote. And so it builds the community, and everyone gets to see that because all of their friends see it.
Okay.
And that's a way to just drive traffic from
Yeah.
basically referrals,
Mhm.
essentially.
So go to Mike's page. What's your Facebook page?
My personal
Yeah.
one? I can send it out.
Okay, So, yeah, so go to Mike's page and, but seriously. These pictures are amazing.
Okay.
Because they're pictures of Mike going, just crazy stuff he's doing, right? And then, did the gym put those together?
Yeah, the gym.
Okay, so the gym did. So the gym took a picture of him
Okay.
and did a meme. They put a
That's
quote.
great.
You could do that with your
Okay.
customers. That is
Okay.
brilliant.
And
That is
so another
brilliant.
thing too is, I go to CrossFit, I'm big into CrossFit.
Right, I've been thinking about doing something with CrossFitting.
So partner with them to offer
Okay.
a free class on a Saturday.
Okay.
Because one of the biggest things about CrossFit is no one has mobility. I mean, none. I can't touch my toes, barely,
Mhm.
but I can lift a lot of weight and I can
Right.
do lots of things. So if you offer a free class, to get them interested and get the coaches interested, because you can just trade out like a free class for the coaches.
Okay.
And then they'll refer,
That's
people.
great.
Okay.
That is
Great.
great.
Yeah, I
That's
couldn't
it.
figure out how to get, because
it's not
there's
competition,
a
'cause it's
lot of
completely
CrossFit in
separate.
the area, yeah.
No, that's great, especially the mobility piece. So you see the different, the ideal customer in CrossFit is gonna have a different conversation
Mhm.
than the woman who's doing gardening with a bad back,
Mhm.
than the people who want support. You guys seeing this?
Yeah. Mhm.
The ideal customer has changed and it's okay. Especially for a studio, you're gonna have several ideal customers. For some products, it's very succinct. It's like basically one. But for other customers, you might have 2 or 3 different ideal customers, yeah.
And you could also see about doing something where you have like partners, and so you have their logos on your page, and then you do a share thing where they have your logos on their page.
Okay.
And so.
Yeah,
it's
only,
really
and
cool.
only if they're sophisticated.
Okay.
And so you can
Yeah.
do the research first and see if they're sophisticated on their website.
Okay.
If they're not, then that's not gonna be of
Yeah.
interest to them, but yeah,
Mhm.
so, but yeah, it's a great, logo sharing is great.
Okay.
So, but this notion of, I love this idea, Mike, of taking pictures of your customers and doing a meme and sending it to them by email.
What's a meme?
A meme is an image with a inspirational message on it. Okay.
Okay.
So the meme for those guys would be different
Mhm.
than the meme for the gardener,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
So the meme for the gardener is, oh my God, I feel good, I can plant my tomato plants.
Mhm.
That's not a good meme, but but for him, do you have some of what?
Yeah, so you guys can't see because it's tiny, but.
We can put it on the projector. No, we can't. Yeah.
But I'll just show it. So it's me working out, I'm dying here,
Oh,
but
okay.
it's, you want it, don't wish for it, work for it.
Okay.
So it's simple things like, and they do that every single day.
That's
Okay.
really cool.
And then is there a program to do that? Or do I just like do
There's
it?
lots of online programs where you
Okay.
can just put.
I don't know if you guys can see it. But the studio took a picture of Mike and then put this is called a meme, and put together the image with an inspirational saying and sent it to Mike, who posted it on his Facebook.
No, so they just post it on theirs and they tag me.
Oh,
So all my friends can
posted
see
on
it.
you and tagged you. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
So they're
Yeah.
building their own
That makes more
traffic.
sense.
Site.
So you put it on your site and tag them.
Okay.
And
Brilliant.
that is
Frickin' brilliant.
That's a good idea.
That's really a cool thing. So that's one of all of lots and lots of stuff. But you can see that it gets down to ideal customer and your success signature, right? What it is you want to accomplish. That one of your ideal customers in that whole thing is you, isn't it? It's the one that lives in Ohio that wants a spiritual community.
Right.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's her. That's the one that's her. And then there's the other benefits, and that'll create different ideal customers. I love this idea of CrossFit too, because it's in the same place in terms of the trend.
Mhm.
CrossFit is in the same place as Bikram is right now, in a completely different way.
Right.
So yeah, go ahead.
Oh, and you can also have like success stories, so once if you have those long-term customers that have been coming, get them to submit their stories, and whether you give them a month free or you don't do anything, but it's just putting out those stories, so it's like here's what someone can accomplish, and that can also get, people love stories.
Right.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
don't
and-
have to do anything for them because they love the recognition.
Right, well, one
Exactly.
thing I
Yeah.
do ask, if I notice a person that's been coming in, for their first month, I always ask, what is something that, what have you noticed? What are the benefits that you've noticed? And everybody has got, something different, and it's just, how do I just take like a little video of their testimony?
Yeah, video testimony.
That's what
Get your
I do.
iPhone, get your
Yeah.
iPhone out, and take a video testimony.
Well,
And then throw it on your website, and you can throw it on your sales page,
Mhm.
Put it on
right?
Facebook.
You can put it
Now,
on
how is the
Facebook.
sales page different than the website? I guess, because I have a pricing page. is it gonna be something totally different?
Yeah, that's very different. Are you in the Success Signature program? Okay, so,
I just got to 5.
yeah, I think it might be module 6.
Okay.
So module 6 will explain all that to you.
Okay.
Okay. You don't need a website. You don't have to have a website to run your business.
Okay.
Is kind of the lesson. It's
Okay.
good. It's good to have one, but you don't have to.
And there's a whole bunch in the second edition on it.
Yeah, tons in the,
Okay.
that's right. Tons in the second edition about that too. How many here are not in a second edition? On volume, you're just in volume 1? You didn't purchase volume 2, you didn't upgrade? Okay, we're gonna have a special for you guys. Okay,
Thank you.
yay! That was great. Okay, so I think we're gonna break for lunch. And what time is it now?
12:32.
What time?
We want to do an hour and a half.
Okay, so 12:30, 2 o'clock. So you've got 90 minutes for lunch, so be back here 2 o'clock sharp. Okay, thanks guys, and thanks for the streaming. We're going to take a 90-minute break. You can have lunch now too.
Or happy hour.
Or happy hour if you're living in the, yeah. Right. I just got that.
Here is a method to my madness.
You are good, good. Yeah, I think so. Actually, I don't think it is. I was thinking it's actually, yeah. Is it?
It's just design.
It was new. I actually don't remember.
So.
Okay, so.